Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a video on being socially acceptable. What is social acceptance? Why we like social acceptance? I mean, I'm not going to get all like factual. I don't want to be like a lecture, but I want to give some inspo to people that want to evolve themselves but feel a pressure from external sources to like be a certain way or suppress certain sides of the self because you want to fit a certain criteria really that is a fabrication or imposed upon you, if you know what I mean. I hope that all made sense. That was quite a wordy explanation. So anyway, basically, I'm just talking about how, I'm personally, obviously I can only speak from my experience from this entire video. I am someone that has come from an individuality complex kind of mindset in the past, but we all have like a route in life. But I do also think that having that individuality complex has allowed me to navigate certain social norms and choose for myself what I want to pursue and, you know, how I want to conduct myself rather than just fall into this pit of conforming. So obviously I'm only speaking from my perspective. I'm not saying, because obviously as human beings we want to all conform to an extent to what we think is right, where we're supposed to be, and I'm not trying to take myself out of that situation. I just feel like I have a perspective that might add something to your validation in order to, or I can validate someone else, or, you know, just talk about how being an individual is necessary and healthy. And it's less healthy to look to external sources for your own internal validation and navigation of life. So basically, obviously social media, it's gonna add to the culture of looking to external sources, because I think it's just about the balance really, because I think there's nothing wrong with copying and sort of like getting ideas from other people, and this is why I say I had an individuality complex, but really I think I think it's just good to have that balance between copying someone's, if you see something you want to do, to copy it, being aware of like the cost of, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that you should overthink everything, but what I mean is, I've spoken in a past video about the cost of certain behaviours to you, and how someone doing one thing might not be good for you to do because it's just not something that you're good at, or that's something that you should be doing, or it can come from a place inside them that is not necessarily the healthiest. So emulating that behaviour probably wouldn't be, you know, the best thing to do for you, for example. But I'm just lost myself there. But I think from a cultural perspective, like obviously there's that sense of like a lizard brain inside all of us where we've evolved to want acceptance and as to not break the status quo and be as a tribe and feel that we're not going to be excluded from the tribe and then left to die, for example, because that's how we've evolved. But by the same token, I think it's easy to obviously like miss that balance. Everyone's got their own life path. I'm not trying to like say I know everything about life here, not at all, but yeah, I think it's about having a balance though between copying what you want to copy and like seeing people that you're interested in, you know, coming that way, so you kind of either mimic them or ask them how they've got there and try and do a similar thing, but also to realise you can't go down another person's path. You're on your own. You could meet people that are on a similar path to you, but trying to be a whole other person that you are not is not going to be a good move. So I've literally digressed so far that I can't even... I've literally just tangented massively. So I just, yeah, not feeling comfortable. But I think you can also build confidence through life in situations you're not comfortable in, and learn things to build more confidence and knowledge for the future. So I think it's good to put yourself in different places. I hope I'm not being too wordy here. I'm sort of just digressing slightly. I'm just kind of trying to read off some notes as well here. But I just feel like, yeah, it's something that we've all got the programming inside us to conform, and you've got to think how we are socialised, most of us that go to school, to, you know, be in a classroom. I'm talking about most people here. I've talked about different people in the world, and some people go to school, some people go to specialised schools, and some people are homeschooled and whatever. But I think the mainstream schooling population are socialised to be in a classroom, and I have actually seen another video which I would like to do a similar one myself on, which is the myths that you must debunk after going to school, like the ways of being that you like, or the things that you're taught in school, if you like, or the way that you are socialised to be, which in adulthood doesn't really help, even though most things help you lead on to the next thing. So but I do think that, for example, if you're in school, right, and you're quite a social person and you have to be, you know, like listening to a teacher for the majority of your time in school, I do think like later in life you can sort of just have more experiences to broaden your life and sort of not make up for your lack of experiences as a child, but you do sort of blossom as an adult where you can explore more parts of life. But yeah, I just, because I don't think anything in life is like black and white, but just to end off, because this has been a bit of a rambly, confusing video, but I think I just wanted to touch on, I think for me as well, it's about figuring out what, because life you can see as a bit of a game, and you've got a goal, for example, and the goal is to you know, complete the goal, if you like, and just to be aware of the goals that you have. And because it's very easy, especially in society, to have a mindset which it doesn't even come from yourself, and you're like, I have to have like a CEO job and make £100,000 a year, right? But you could get that, right? I'm not saying like everyone has the capacity to do that. I'm just saying you could get that job. But what has it really got you at the end? I'm just trying to conceptualize the idea of being aware of what aligns with your inner goals, morals, soul, and to have the actions to move in that direction. And I think life will generally take you there anyway, obviously, because, you know, the universe is interesting how it all works, and God guides us all, the Lord is our shepherd, etc. But I'm just trying to, as I said, conceptualise the idea of defining success to yourself, because society's definition of success may not necessarily be your definition of success, which may not be your parents' definition of success, which may not be your work's definition of success, which may not be your school's definition of success, which may not be God's definition of, I mean, no one knows what God's definition of success is, really. Success is a concept that's really made by humans, so I don't think God sees the word success. I honestly couldn't say, I don't know. But just to follow a path that is worth winning, because it's very easy to strive towards a goal that when you get it, it's not what you thought it would be. And that happens to a lot of people. I've heard about things like GPs and stuff that have studied for 7 years. They go and get their, you know, doctorate degree or whatever, become a practicing GP, and then they leave it because they're just not bothered about doing it. Like it's not what they thought it would be, and then they go on to a whole other field, or they go and do something else, which obviously hopefully doesn't happen like that often, because that'd be a bit of a waste. But not waste, but I don't know, it just wouldn't be ideal to spend 7 years doing it and then not want to do it. But just to like be conscious, or I'm saying you can be more I found that being conscious of my path from my own perspective will be good, because then it means that I like just, obviously you can't control everything in life, and I'm not saying that you can, but sometimes it's just maybe about questioning certain things and saying, is this getting me to where I want to be, or is this holding me back from where I want to be, or just maybe if I'm holding any sort of, it's easy to follow society's shallow values of like, you know, outward appearance type values. I'm going to use another quote from the Bible: God looks at our, not at our outward appearance, for our inner self. So yeah, bit of a ramble, rubbishy, philosophical video. So I'm going to watch this through, and if it all makes sense I will be uploading it to the internet. I wish I could have been a bit more specific, but it was quite a broad, out there kind of topic video. But yeah, I hope this goes well and that it goes on the internet. So thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.